Welcome, everybody. For those of you that don't know me, I am Prerna Wadhwa. I'm a Talk to the Entities certified facilitator, and I'm from Mumbai, India. There are quite a few of you here that I don't know or I haven't seen in my classes before. So, welcome. I wonder what contribution can I be for all of you. Um, I have a really, just like yesterday, out of nowhere, I got like this really bad cold and throat. My throat's like sort of like weird at the moment. So if my voice is a little raspy, please put up with it. It's not your ears, it's my voice. It's just it's difficult to talk, but because I had over 100 registrations, there was no way that I could cancel or reschedule this call. So here we are, and I wonder what's right about this. Um, so, whatever, I'm just going to jump right in because for those of you that know me, and even for those of you that are just getting to know me, I don't do tasters and introduction. I just jump right in. For me, there's no scratching the surface. I just like to dive deep. So, whatever your expectations are when it comes to talk to the entity specialty class, could all of you please destroy and uncreate it all? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all night shots, boys and beyonds. The words that I just said, right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all night shots, boys and beyonds, are what we call the clearing statement. If you would like to know what these words mean, please go to theclearingstatement.com. They're basically, now since this is a talk to the entity teaser, since this is a teaser, um, the clearing statement is like a magic wand, since we are in the since we are talking about magic. And entities, I mean, the reason why talk to the entities is so special for me is because this is that one area where I can really truly exercise magic. For me, it's magic. For me, it's unbelievable that I can access my abilities that easily, thanks to the tools of talk to the entities. For me, it's utter magic, and like I always say, one of the classes that changed the game for me is talk to the entities. It was not an easy class for me to choose. Let me just say that. It was one of the last classes I chose before I became a certified facilitator. I just did not want to do talk to the entities. I didn't want to know about entities. I didn't want to deal with entities. I wanted to pretend like entities don't exist because I was shit scared of them. I would, there have been nights where I forced my mother to sleep with me because I could not sleep alone. I was scared of the dark. I was scared of being on my own because I was highly aware of entities, and the when I would like try to sleep, like the entity activity was so high that I would freak out. So just having a sip of my milk. Sorry. It wasn't so. In essence, I never wanted to deal with entities, but here's the thing. Um, entities are not going anywhere anytime soon. Unfortunately, even if you don't want to deal with them, they're not going away. If you just like, I no, they don't exist, they don't exist for me, they don't exist for me, they're still not going to go away. Like Shannon O'Hara says, who's the creator of Talk to the Entities, that entities are like bacteria, right? They're part of the element of what Earth holds. They're as simple as animals, they're as simple as bacteria, they're as simple as having oxygen in the air, right? They just exist. There's no way that they just pretending that I don't want to deal with it, I don't want to know about it, doesn't make them go away. So, how many of you here on the call are resisting your capacity with entities, resisting your awareness with entities, resisting tapping into your capacity with entities, resisting taking advantage of your ability with entities, By taking advantage, I mean making your life easier. Because when you have a capacity with something and you're just like, no, it doesn't exist, no, it doesn't exist, no, it doesn't exist, when you flip it around, so let's take your capacity with entities and let's flip it around. Let's look for that one molecule that we can change right now. Turn it 180 degrees, flip it. Thank you. And how can you now use this energy, this awareness, this capacity to your advantage? And everything that doesn't allow that, everything that doesn't allow you to claim, own, and acknowledge that you are aware of entities and the spirit world more than more than anything else, really. Because guess who made it to this call? All of you guys. The call says it very, very much on the poster says it's about the spirit world, and here you are. So there's no denying. There's no denying what you know about the spirit world. So everything that brought up or let down in your universes, whatever anxiety that may have brought up, can we please, or excitement that may have brought up, can we please destroy and unsheathe everything that is right, wrong, good, bad, pop, online shots, boys and beyonds. I'll tell you guys a story. By story, I mean I announced I announced this teaser. I announced the class, and when I announced this teaser, the first thought that came into my head is like, I have to convince everybody how amazing Talk to the Entities is. I have to convince everybody. I have to. I mean, how can you guys not get it? Like, I have to. Like, even I didn't get it, and you get it where you get it. But like, I was like, it's my mission to convince everyone how fucking epic Talk to the Entities is, because it changed my life. And why would you not choose something that would change your life, right? But you get when you get it. So this was the energy, right? I was like, I'm gonna, ow, I just scratched myself. So it was like, I'm going to convince everyone that you have to choose this. This is going to change your life. And then the next day I felt sick. By falling sick, my throat just closed down and I got cold. And I was like, how the hell am I going to convince people if I can't even speak? So I had to rewind it a little. Before I announced this class, I announced Communicating with Entities, which is a specialty intro of Talk to the Entities, where we predominantly talk about how to communicate with entities. So I was like, oh my god, like I have to tell everyone how it's not verbal, right? Like this is not verbal. Entity stuff is not verbal. You can't do it with words. You can do it, but so much of the communication that happens with entities is non-verbal. And then it's like, oh, now today I'm doing this teaser with all of you guys, barely being able to speak. So you see how consciousness will always manipulate you into greater. So a lot of this entity stuff is not verbal, okay? Everywhere you're not tapping into this knowledge and this field, because here's the thing with anything to do with entities, it's non-verbal, okay? Because entities don't communicate the way we communicate. So when you receive information from entities, it comes in a very different format than how we are used to communicating, and words are just a limitation. So irrespective of what comes out of my mouth today in this teaser, please know that a lot more I'm delivering energetically. Please know that a lot more happens with entity awareness beyond words. Words are truly, truly, truly a limitation. So if for these 10 seconds you remove the verbal element of communicating with entities, what do you have left? If you did not, let's for these 10 seconds pretend, hypothetically, that you can't communicate with words. How else then would you communicate with entities? And you could type it in the chat or you could unmute yourself if you're brave enough, if you have the courage. How would you, yes, Shivani?
With an awareness.
Awesome. And how would that awareness show up? Or how does it show up, rather, for all of you?
Something that um, something that's a chatter in your head, or what do you call an intuition?
Yeah. Awesome. What else, guys? How else would this show up for you guys? If words were not how you receive your awareness with entities, how else would it show up for you? That. Everything that is, that doesn't allow you to now turn it up, 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 turn it up. Can I mute you, babe? Shivani. I get very. I'm ADHD as fuck. Like, ADHD as fuck. Like one noise and I'm just like losing track of what I was about to say. I'm just gonna read the chat. Energy, energy exchange, body vibes in my case. Communicating with entities is easy to me than talking with people. True that. It's so much easier to talk to entities than it is to talk to with people at times. Um, just tapping into all of your universes. So, yeah. Do you guys have any questions for me? Would you like to ask a question? Mansi, I'm gonna put you on this one because I love how Mansi will ask questions and she'll open up the door for the communication to progress further. Um,
Yeah,
yeah.
I have a question. Like, thank you for asking that. And I think like this class is like a class of curious cat kind of class. Like we want it and we also don't want to know about it. It's like a very like a very love hate relationship with this class. Like it definitely brings something in your world. At the same time, a lot of people are scared enough to even know what they want to know.
Yeah.
So how can it be more ease for them that yes, knowing something about this entity world can be ease, as well as it's not that we are dominated by entities. And as you mentioned, the example of bacteria, yes, they are all predominantly there, but still can I have a take on, like, it is still a choice of me that I how I would like to be with them, instead of ignoring them, avoiding them, fearing them. So can you share more on that as well? Because any person who hear about it, they are excited, but there is a, like a myriad of thoughts go on. Okay, if I know if this happened, that happened, and they are going to be dominating, so that energy somehow is there. So can you share more on that?
Yes. So everywhere any of you are running away from entity awareness in these 10 seconds, you could take it up again after this call ends. You just like, fuck this shit, I'm still running away from entities, and that's cool. It's just a choice. No problem. But just for the duration of this call, for the next 15 minutes, could you stop running away from your entity awareness? And it's it can be as easy as learning a new thing, right? Like, did you get on a cycle and know instantly how to cycle? Did you jump into the pool and instantly know how to swim? Did you start to learn a new language and instantly knew how to say the words in those language? So entity working in the entity world, working with your communication, working with what you know about entities, just a muscle you build over time, right? Like when I attended my first talk to the entities big deal class after a lot of resistance. Even after I attended my talk to the entities big deal class, I did not open my manual for 8 months after the class. After the class, I was like, no, do not want to talk about this, do not want to deal with this, right? After 8 months, something in my universe just shifted and just clicked into place, and there was no more running away. Rather was running towards. So everywhere all of you are running away rather than running towards your awareness with entities. Could you please destroy and uncreate all of your oaths, vows, swearings, fialities, communalities, decisions, judgments, conclusions, computations that you may have made in any and all lifetimes, spaces, dimensions, and realities, to never be this powerful again, to never be this aware again, to never know magic again, to never know everything that you know about the spirit world again. Could all of you please revoke, recant, reclaim, renounce, denounce, destroy, and uncreate it all, please? Right or wrong, good and bad, power and pork, all line shots, boys and beyonds. I remember going swimming as a child, and I would like, and I would look at all these kids and how they would just jump into the swimming pool, right? And I would just stand over there, say, do I jump? No. Do I jump? No. Do I jump? No. Do I jump? No. And like we used to go like with family friends, so the one of the aunties got so irritated with me just standing there and looking for days on end. And I was young, and I was that weight where I could be picked up. So she just, I'm standing there, I'm looking, should I not, should I not? And she just like came from behind me, picked me up, and threw me into the water. And I was just like, and I gave up my fear of jumping into the water, and that's it. Like, even with entities, either something will happen in your life that'll pick you up and fucking throw you into the deep end, like fucking deal with your entity awareness now, or you could just jump into it yourself. It's just a choice. That's it. Like, there's no, you could be like me, just like, should I not, should I not, should I, or something's gonna happen in your life where it's gonna be like, come on, come on, come on, if you're not going, I'm pushing you. And that's consciousness for you. It really is. And it's funny, I'm bringing up like swimming memories. uh Also, water is one of the ways I receive from quantum entanglements and elementals very easily, is when I'm in the water. So that's a side note for those of you that love being in the water. I wonder what magic you create when you are in the water, because water by itself is holds the codes of consciousness in it. So I wonder, when you're like in water, what you're receiving, what magic you're receiving when you're in the water. So that's it. I mean, like, there's no like, should I not, should you just jump. And it could be an active choice that you make right now, or you'll make it 10 years from now or 10 lifetimes from now, and it's just an interesting choice. That's all it really is. So all the significance, and I just want to say that attending a class is great, um, because it does take away a lot of the points of views and a lot of the resistance and a lot of the judgments, and a lot, like, it just eradicates a lot. There's a deep clearing that happens, that opens up the avenues and the possibilities to create more magic. However, what do you already know about entities and about entity awareness that you're not acknowledging? Everything that doesn't allow you to claim, own, and acknowledge that right now, and not 10 lifetimes from now, could you please destroy and uncreate it? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pork, all line shots, boys and beyonds. God, it's difficult to talk today.
Prerna, I have another question. Also, since you have done talk to entity so many times yourself before you're facilitating, and also now you're also continuously facilitating this class almost every month. So, can you also share any experience of how, when you are engaging with this class again and again, what is that which is really bringing to your life? Because a lot of people say, hey, I've done it, talk to entity, and as you mentioned, I've done some years before or some months before, and why do I even choose it again, or why do I even repeat it again?
Yeah.
So, can you share more on that as well?
Yeah. Um, Sorry about all the coughing, guys. If this is ringing in your ears, I'm so sorry. I just asked. There's this monthly membership that Shannon does, and it's called Club Consciousness. And I just asked a question to Shannon last night. We had a Club Consciousness call, and I just asked this question to Shannon about something that was showing up in my world. and the question that she asked me, and I also share that with Mansi today, was that what gift are you being that you're not acknowledging? Like, what gift are you being with entities that you're not acknowledging? What gift are you being with? What contribution are you being that you're not acknowledging? The reason that there are times where you just get it in the first class you attend, right? Or the first introduction you attend, or the 1 10 minute conversation that changes your life, and you're like, oh, okay, that's it, I'm done. I don't need to be scared anymore. And then there are times where it's like it takes a class or two or three or five or ten. Like it all just boils down to a person's willingness to go beyond what is comfortable for you. Because with entities, please know that if you are pushing away your awareness with entities, it can get extremely uncomfortable. It doesn't have to get, but it can get extremely uncomfortable. So I just want to like highlight those points. Is if there's constant pain that's showing up in your body, it could be a sign of entity awareness, that entities are trying to get your attention. If you suffer from depression, anxiety, again, please know massive capacity with entities. Okay, we talk about how schizophrenia and bipolar and all of these things as well on a talk to the entity beginning class, even depression. This is a beautiful, beautiful capacity with entities. Um, if you are someone who gets like magically money deposited in your accounts, I know there are some of you on this call, massive capacity with entities, or are very lucky with. I remember before Access, like I had this thing about parking, right? I love self driving, but that means I have to look for parking, right? So like, because when you're self driving, you're just like, acha, driver, just like, leave me here and, you go park, figure it out. I live in Bombay. Parking is difficult as fuck to find. And I still want to self drive. So before Access, what I would do is I was reading this book. I don't remember which book. Sorry, can't remember. Some book I was reading, and it said, if you struggle with parking, ask, like, make this like, before you leave. Okay, all my spirit guides, uh, you just tap into your spirit guides. By the way, we're almost on the end of this call, so I will be doing an energetic exercise with your teammates, so hang on for it. We are going to do a teammate exercise before I end this call. So I would tap into my spirit guides, my what I knew as teammates before talk to the entities. I would refer to them as my spirit guides. It's like, my spirit guides, please help me find a secure and convenient parking spot, as if by magic. And I would just say this like a couple of times. And irrespective of where I went, I found a fucking parking spot right outside of it. Like, just when I was about to enter, a car would leave. Just as I was about to enter, someone would be like, oh, I'm leaving from here, and that parking spot would magically open up. Now, this is one of one of those simplest things and exercises with how your teammates are these energetic beings that are with you on your team, that are here to contribute to you, and they've been with you through lifetimes. They're on your team, they want to contribute to you, but you have to like open up that conversation. You have to be like, hey teammates, could you please help out, could you please contribute? And there are like numerous ways of doing that. So yeah. I just want, so many things I'm talking about today that I just didn't want to talk about at all. Like, I had no awareness that these things would come up in this call, but there you
And
go.
has the class started already for you?
Always. Always. So I don't see, I did at a large portion of my life, because it's it's entities are portrayed as something scary by this reality, whether it's horror movies that you're watching, or ritualistic magic that you watch, whether it's voodoo where they make it look so scary, or like all of these things, like it's portrayed in this reality as something dark and scary, and it's going to ruin you and ruin people that you're affiliated with. I call bullshit. There's also this amazing, I mean, your life can literally change if you are interested in a life of ease, Please know that involves entities, that includes entities, that includes not running away from your awareness with entities. You cannot be aware of entities and avoid it. You can avoid it, but it gets fucking uncomfortable. Been there, done that, not choosing to do that again for myself. So if you do want to get out of, like, if any of you are personally facing some discomfort, whatever way that may be, whether it's physically, emotionally, financially, sexually, whatever abuse is showing up for you, or you're struggling with, please know we have tools, okay, to change it. uh I guess I don't need this book. I was reading this book as I usually do. This is it's a very fat book. I don't know if you guys can see it. I'm basically taking a printout of all the calls we are supposed to do before we become a talk to the entity certified facilitator, and so I love this book. And I just hope anyway, I was reading this as I'm going to probably talk about something from this book, but it never came up. So that's that. And that's the thing. With Talk to the Entities, you get a manual. Of course, you get, it's a beautiful manual, but there's so much more that we talk about that's not even part of the manual. You know what I mean? If you've done an Access Consciousness class, you know what I mean. Manual is just the start of any Access class. So, what I would like to do is now jump into a teammate exercise, because this is supposed to be a 30-minute call and we're almost finished with 30 minutes. But we do a quick teammate exercise before we get into it, because after the teammate exercise, I'm just going to log out. In case any of you go off to sleep, feel free to go off to sleep. You don't have to wake up. I have a talk to the entities. I had a talk to the entities class scheduled starting in the next 1.5 hour, which I've rescheduled because I am sick and it's difficult to talk at the moment. It's rescheduled to next week. If any of you are sitting on the fence, would like to choose, want to talk about it, please reach out to me, reach out to Mansi. Uh, I don't know if Sakshi is on this call. I'm just going to put my number in here. If any of you have any questions at all, feel free to reach to me, or handling machinery, please don't. Um, if you're just sitting here, my internet is unstable. Can you guys hear me? You can.
Yeah,
Okay.
we can.
We can hear you, Brilliant.
Just when I'm about to talk about teammates, I get your internet connection is unstable. And that's, again, guys, entities, when they show up, they mess with your internet, they mess with your electronics. So just relax, close your eyes. Connect to your body. Just put your hand anywhere on your body. I won't judge wherever you want to put your hand on your body. Take a deep breath from the top of your head to your toes. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Please push your barriers down. Barriers in front of you, behind you, around you. Push your barriers down. You don't have to know what are barriers to do this. You just have to push them down. You say it and it's done. Barriers down, barriers down, barriers down. The barriers behind the barriers, push those barriers down. Those secretive barriers, push them down. Expand the space of your being. 500,000 miles in all directions. growing roots from the bottom of your feet to the core of the earth. Keep expanding, keep connecting to the earth. Please relax. Wait, whatever's worrying you, stressing you, it can all wait for the next 5 minutes. For now, just relax. We are going to ask our power bands to turn on. If you've not done an Access Bars class, that's okay. We just say it and it happens. Power band turn on, power band turn on, power band turn on. Opening up your crown. There you go. Opening up your space. And now we're going to ask all entities to step back. Whichever entities are around you, all these entities, please back off 5 kilometers away from you. Back away, back away, back away. You may have to be aggressive with them. If they're not listening to you, be aggressive. And now I'm going to ask your teammates to step in. Relax. Push your barriers down. There may be one of them. There may be two. There may be three. Or more or less. Allow your teammates to come closer to you. They are on your team. They will not hurt you. They will not harm you. They only wish to contribute to you. Let them in. Give them permission to come closer to you. Allow them to engulf you and your body, to hug you, to touch you, to play with you. And just notice what happens in the body. Are they tickling you on your belly? Are you getting a tickling sensation on your scalp? Are they making you giggle? Do you feel like crying? Are you getting angry? Everything is okay. Just allow yourself to be. Allow yourself to receive from your teammates. Whatever sense of separation that exists, let's destroy and melt that separation. Till you're at one with the consciousness of everything. Part of building your relationship with your teammates is this exercise. So be aware if there is any sensation that you can now memorize to know that your teammates are around. For me, when my scalp tickles, I know my teammates are around. So ask them to give you a sign now that would tell you and show you that they are around whenever they are around you in the future. And memorize that for yourself. If they have come to gift you something, please do them the favor of receiving that gift. Please just receive. You don't have to know what they're gifting, you don't have to know what it looks like, what it shows up like. Just receive. Let that kindness that they are permeate into your world, into your reality, into your body. If you've been looking all your life for people that have your back, here they are. Your teammates always, always, always have your back. They are always there for you. They're just a call away. But it's your duty, it's your responsibility to build this relationship, to build this muscle, to learn how to be with your teammates, how to ask and receive from your teammates. This responsibility, my dear friends, is on you. You have to take the first step. You take the first step, they'll take the next step, and the next 100 steps. But the first step, you've got to take. Keep receiving. And let these energies percolate, permeate, do its magic. If you feel like sleeping, please do. If you feel like getting up and jumping and dancing, please do. If you feel like throwing things off the balcony because you're so angry, please do. It's all okay. Know that this will keep building with time, with your presence. Make this part of your daily ritual. You wake up in the morning, do a quick check-in with your teammates. It's like, hi teammates, how are you? What magic can we now create on earth? What contribution can I now receive from my teammates? And I will leave you guys here with this. You can continue to sleep, no problem. If you'd like to reach out, I'm available. Mansi is available. I will see you guys somewhere in the world sometime. Lots of love. Bye.